So for the last couple of days, this past week, we have been talking about slope. Just as a reminder, slope is the change in the y values over the change in the x values. All right. This is something that you guys normally call rise over run. The rise is your y, change in y values going up or down. Your run is going from left to right. That's your x. Now we've been talking about slopes, different types of slopes. The ones that we really haven't addressed yet are the special types of cases where you have a zero slope or an undefined slope. These are going to happen in two different situations. So we're going to start with a zero slope first. So anytime you have a zero slope, that means that the line is going to be horizontal, all right? It's where the number in front of x in y equals mx plus b would be 0. So if we had y equals mx plus b, this m number would be a 0. That's why it's a zero slope. All right. So because of the zero slope, we're going to multiply 0 times x and get 0. So it's like it goes away. Since there's nothing there in math, when there's nothing there, we usually don't write it down. Which is just going to leave us y equal to our b number or y equal to our intercept. So anytime you see an equation where it's just y equals a number, that means that you are going to have a zero slope. All right. The graph of this, like I said earlier, here's your y, here's your x. It's going to be some sort of horizontal line. So I can just draw anywhere a horizontal line, and the slope of this line equals 0. All right, it doesn't matter where the horizontal line is. Could be here, could be here, could be here, could be the x-axis. The slope of all those horizontal lines is going to be 0. A table, a mapping, or ordered pairs, whenever we see a slope of 0, since on the graph all the y values are the exact same, that means the same thing is going to happen with the table or mapping or ordered pairs. All the y numbers will be the same. All the y values will be the same, or the range will only have one number in it. For example, let's say we were talking about this line that we just graphed up here. Let's say that's y equals -3, -1, -2, -3 for y. So if I had a table of values, all my y numbers would be -3. So I could have +2, -3, 0, -3, -2, -3. All the y numbers are going to be the exact same. So zero slope is when we have y equals a number for an equation, gives us a horizontal line, all the y numbers are the exact same. There's only one value for all the y's. Now let's talk about an undefined slope. An undefined slope is when we have a horizontal line. All right. The reason that we can't find it in y equals mx plus b, because it's when x equals something. All right. This is a very special case, something that you're just going to have to remember. With a zero slope, you can always plug 0 into the problem and still work out and get the equation. With an undefined slope, you cannot do that. You just have to know that it's going to be x equals some number that gives you an undefined slope. All right. X equaling a number, when we graph it, there's our y, there's our x. When we graph it, it's just going to give us a horizontal line. So this right here would give us a slope that is undefined. Because the line's going up or down. It's going straight up or down, it's going vertically. Because of this, when we put it into a table or mapping or ordered pairs, all the x values will be the same. So an example, going back to this graph that we just did, let's say that this is where x is 2, so this would be 1, this would be 2, where x is 2. So then when we fill out the table, all of the x numbers are going to be 2. So 2, -4 would be a point, 2, 0 would be a point, 2, +3 would be a point. All right, on that line that we just graphed. So, recap, undefined slope is x equals a number. The slope's going straight up and down or vertically. And all of the x numbers, if we were to write it out in the table or ordered pairs or a mapping, are all going to be the same.